the show.
Hey, Jared McCain can't keep the Kings out your mouth. Jared McCain, kind of slightly joking. Jared McCain was asked, he was on the podcast P, where all athletes go to spill all of their never heard before words. And Jared McCain was asked, hey, on draft night, like, was it always just going to be Philly, or did you ever think it could potentially be Sacramento?
But you're from Sacramento, and they had the 13th pick.
Yep.
And so you ended up going 16th. But going into draft day, did you think that there was a chance that the Kings might pick you up?
Definitely. I definitely did. That was actually my only – I did one-on-one workout or 1-on-0 workout, and that was the only one. It was my last workout. It wasn't my best workout, but maybe that's why. But, yeah, I actually did think I was going there. I mean, a lot of places. My agent tells me not to get, like, too attached to a team, but
So there you go. Jared McCain saying right there, definitely thought he was going to go to the Kings. Of course, Jared McCain does have Sacramento ties, born in Sacramento. And, you know, it was even asked, you know, I believe post-draft about Sacramento and by Sean Cunningham, I think at Summer League, and said, you know, he still loves Sacramento, has friends and family down here as well. Would have been great, of course, but I've detailed before, there is a really good, it's a little bit older at this point, but there's a great ESPN article, I believe it's ESPN, about essentially the business of living or playing in your hometown and how expensive tickets can get, because everyone thinks you just get comped as many tickets as you want, especially if you're a millionaire athlete, but you got to pay if you're going to have 15 to 20 people in the stands. And might have been a little bit difficult for Jared if he would have been drafted here. But, of course, everybody wants that. But, Alan, the thing that I read from this is something that we've talked about before. And I actually think we have the audio of both of these guys. CJ McCollum, last season, if I'm not mistaken, had this to say after he absolutely cooked the Kings. The Kings lost by 30 this game. And just to put the cherry on top, this is how CJ McCollum decided to end his interview that day.
For you, you know, there are certain gyms where you just feel better, you have a better rhythm, your shot just feels better. Is this one of those gyms and places for you?
Yeah, Sacramento was supposed to draft me. They had me come back for a second workout. Actually told me they were going to take me at 7, and they didn't. So
it's personal.
I enjoy playing here.
So
Love to hear that, right? Love to hear that. Players actively saying they have something a little extra for the Kings because they didn't draft him. Well, guess what? It's not just CJ. It's not just Jared McCain. We also heard this from one Klay Thompson.
Hey, man, 2011 NBA.
It's fine. That audio is a little bit messed up. And that's just Klay, essentially, and only the way Klay can. He's like, hey, with the 10th pick in the 2015 draft, the Sacramento Kings select not me. And essentially points at the Kings skipping on him in the draft as a reason why Klay, and as we know, Klay had that infamous, 5 points in the quarter. Nobody remembers that game at all, but Klay had a little something for the Kings that night. Alan, why do these guys care? Why does it seem like this is only a Sacramento Kings thing too? Like, I've never heard anybody else. Definitely not. This is now 3 people that we have just played the audio. Well, I guess 2, but 3 people that we have confirmed bringing up the Kings didn't draft them. Have you ever heard anybody mention this many times for one team, hey, they didn't draft me, and so I got something for them? This feels like, seriously, and I know we do this all the time, and we say, oh, this is only in Niner spaces, but this thing actually feels like it's solely a Kings thing.
Well, before I get to it, I will say that I'm putting the Jared McCain thing in a different compartment compared to these other guys. That wasn't even close. And we can have a separate conversation about, I mean, he went to high school in SoCal, so I don't know what to do with any of that. But I digress. We'll get back to that. As far as what you're saying, Chris, I think it's very obvious what's going on here. We just talked about the miserable franchises, right? And how the Kings should or should not be on that list. I think that I got to be careful here. I think that when you think that you could save someone, or when you think that I'm actually out of your league, and then you pass on me and I would make you look good, I think it ticks people off even more.
Yeah,
I feel like when you don't get drafted by the Lakers or somebody like that, you think, whatever, the Lakers, you know who, I know who they think they are, whatever. But if you find out someone, let's say there was a misunderstanding, and there is somebody that maybe you just think that you're a little bit better looking than, okay? That's just what it is. And then you find out that she actually wasn't interested in you, you start thinking, oh, really? Really? You're not interested in me? You're lucky if I would even look at you. And I think that's what's happening with these guys. They're thinking, the Sacramento Kings passed on me?
Right.
Okay. And I think that's exactly what's happening here.
No, I think I think you're spot on. Like, that must be it, is that they're saying, oh, you guys don't want my service, so you guys think that you're just going to go ahead and take Spencer Hawes, or in the case of CJ McCollum, I think that was the Ben McLemore draft or something like that, and it's like, oh, okay, so you guys suck, you guys desperately need somebody, and you're not going to go my direction, okay. And then especially like you said, I mean, years down the line when it's like, oh, Klay Thompson, we took. I don't even Jimmer. I think we took Jimmer instead of Klay Thompson. So you could definitely see how he's like, oh, so you guys were looking for a shooter. You guys needed size, and you went with Jimmer Fredette over me. So I think you're pretty much spot on with them saying, essentially, you guys are bad and you need help, and you still passed on me. I got something for you. I do think this Jared McCain thing is a little bit different. But yet again, just hearing – that he said that it was his only one-on-one workout, or it was a 1-on-0 workout. He couldn't remember which one it was. But yeah, I mean, clearly, I think we were talking about it. I mean, we covered the draft plenty here on this show, and there was definitely some Jared McCain whispers, but I think that fit was always going to be a little bit confusing. So it is a little bit interesting to hear Jared. Maybe he was hearing some good things about the Kings, and I mean, maybe before we get out of here,
it was a guard though.
It was a guard,
things.
And that could add to the thing you're kind of referring to, right? If things don't go well with Devin Carter, maybe he'll say, "Oh, so you guys wanted a guard, and didn't you passed over the Sacramento kid who wanted to be here and all this stuff?" And yeah, definitely, it could be something down the road to follow. But at least Jared McCain has it in the back of his mind, at the very least, that he believed he was going to be a Sacramento King, and hopefully he doesn't have something for us in the future. Coming up next, we're going to get the top 5 at the top of the hour, the biggest storylines that we couldn't quite get to